Hey everybody, welcome to the Deep Dive Show. My name is Mpomo Tauro. Our goal with this show is to bring you and I in proximity to the people and ideas that will show us that it is possible and it can be done and eventually help us achieve on our dreams and our goals. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest. She is in the space of real estate and she's the founder and director of Donna Kay Makeup BW. So ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome to the show, Donna Kay. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you very much, Paul. It's a pleasure to be here.
Emma. Thank you so much for coming through. Just to backtrack, something we talked about actually off camera. The first time I interacted with your work was, I believe that was 2020.
All right. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I believe that was 2020 because that was when my sister was doing her 21st. And just to give people a little bit of context, when she came from you, I couldn't recognize her. I was like, this is just on a different level. Even just as a guy who knew nothing about makeup, I could tell that there's so much artistry that goes on into what you do. So very quickly, just walk us through what it is that you do at Donna Kay.
All right. Thank you very much for that. It's nice to be appreciated. Sometimes when somebody leaves the studio, you never really know what goes on after you're done with your client. So it's nice to get that feedback from you as someone who's seen my work. But basically at Donna Kay, we do makeup for all occasions covering graduations, events, photo shoots, editorial makeup, anything that's got to do with makeup we do. So I deal with a lot of private clients. So I've got a studio in Block 9, and that's where my private clients come through to get their makeup done. If it's a wedding, I go to them. Yeah, so anything makeup related, we do.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So talk to me about just where this started off from you. Where do you start this and how do you get into this space?
All right. I sort of went into makeup by accident, really. Yeah, it was just one of those things. I think after I gave birth to my daughter in 2015, um, I had a lot of acne scars, and I wanted to come up with a way to cover them up. And then that's when I started following YouTube channels like how to cover up acne and all of that, going into makeup. That's when I literally bought my first foundation because back then it was all about just lip gloss and we move, Yeah, but then that's when I discovered foundation and then started applying it on myself and yeah, getting better with each application. I started doing my eyebrows. I remember doing them with a Q-tip because I didn't know anything about brushes at the time. I used to apply foundation with my hands. Yeah, it was a rough start. It was a rough start. But as I went on, people around me started noticing, my friends started noticing, you're doing your makeup so nicely. People at church started noticing. Everyone just started complimenting me, and then they're the ones who actually pushed me towards the idea. I was playing around with the idea of actually getting it started as a business, and they're just like, go ahead, you're good. And when you get those compliments, you get sort of like stronger, and then you're like, okay, let me do this. And then that's how I started. That was about 2018. And then I think Donna Kay, the business, started 2019, thereabout, yeah.
Beautiful. So this was actually, you went into the business because of people now telling you that,
Yeah.
do this now, you're good at it,
Yeah.
and you can do it very well.
Yeah, that encouragement sort of just cemented the idea for me.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So talk to me about like what it takes though, because I think it's like I said, it's a work of art.
Yeah.
So as you look at somebody, how do you like if you look at my face,
Yeah.
and then you're like, okay, where are you gonna start with me?
All right.
Just to make me look smooth, nice. Yeah.
So makeup is all about accentuating your beauty. Believe it or not, every time I look at someone, I'm like, oh my gosh, they've got great eyes. I could do this. Or they've got a great nose. I could do this. Or they've got great cheekbones. You start to view people as canvases and you're like, what could I possibly do with this face? But it takes a lot. I feel like most people don't even appreciate the extent to which you have to probably, or the behind the scenes that go into doing like a full face bit. Because one, people are different tones. So because now I work with all sorts of people, not just with my own face, I have to appreciate all the different kinds of tones that are there. Some people are light, some people are dark. And within that darkness, there is undertones. Some people have got warm undertones, some people have got cool undertones, some people have got neutral undertones. And within that also, the skin is different for everybody. Some people's skins are dry, some are oily. So all of that information you have to extract from the client, and then you use that to sort of determine what kind of products you're going to use. And also you have to also establish the facts. Is it makeup for a wedding? Is it makeup for what kind of event are you going to? So that to sort of like, what kind of makeup should I do? So there's a lot of that. So I have like 1,000 products to cover for different faces.
1,000.
Yeah, more than 1,000.
Oh.
Different kind of products, different colors. Everybody wants different things. So I have to know my product and I have to know the person that I'm working on, and then all of that just goes into making a beautiful face.
And you cover a good point, because I've asked, also in preparation for this video, I've asked a lot of friends of mine, ladies that are into makeup, and they were telling me that sometimes they don't go to somebody, or they would say, like, this person is good at applying makeup on themselves. And like what you're saying right now of understanding who you're applying on, they would say this person is good at applying makeup on themselves, but when they come and replicate it on someone else, it's not the same. So I wanted to know, in your own experience, what has been the most valuable lesson in terms of just getting into the space of makeup and dealing with people?
There are a lot of lessons that I've learned, to be honest, in terms of working with people. But the biggest lesson for me is the customer is king. You have to do the makeup that the client wants. There's things that I like, and there's a way that I like to look. But that doesn't really mean that the client wants to look like that. That's why you find a lot of people are scared of makeup, because they've seen other people looking like this. But I always tell them, relax. You don't have to look like that. You have to look like what you want to look like. Give me a vision board. Let's see what pictures you've been seeing and what catched your fancy. Some people like it really soft. Some people want to go full out with the colors and everything. So always listen to your client. That's like one of the biggest takes for me, because even as they're discussing what it is they've seen on other people, you can always tell that this client definitely won't like a lot of this, or definitely won't go for this. And then you do something that is comfortable for them. Makeup should be comfortable. And that's one of the key things that as a makeup artist you have to learn, that it's not your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the client's face.
You have to do what they want, even if it's not something that you
want.
like.
Even if it's not something that you would probably go for yourself. So that means you have to be very like multi-talented in a way.
So you've made makeup where you're just like,
Yeah.
this is not nice, but like, this is what they want.
No, it's always nice,
Yeah.
in a way, because I just feel like the moment you start working on a face, the fact that you have changed something or you've applied something, it's always nicer than what it was before. But maybe you'd find, like, for example, let's say a bride who doesn't want eyelashes. For me, I wouldn't recommend that, because I'm like, lashes look really nice on the pictures, but they don't want lashes, they don't want lashes. It is what it is. And for me, lashes are the finishing look. They're really like, you've got to have them.
They're the cream. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to have them. And then if she's adamant, she's like, I don't want them, there's nothing that you can do. You have to remember that that's your customer. They're king.
The king.
Yeah.
The king. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pause here for a break. We'll be back with Donna Kay. You're watching this video. I'm guessing there's some amount of value that you're getting from this video. I'm here to tell you that we have more. We've created a Patreon account. This is a monthly subscription-based model where you'll be investing as little as $5 a month to be able to support our work. And in turn, you will have access to behind the scenes, exclusive content, live shows, and even information on future events. Your investment into us allows us to be able to create more and better content, to be able to push these stories off. It is possible and it can be done. So if that sounds interesting to you, head over to patreon.com/deep dive sessions and become a patron. See you on the inside. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Deep Dive Show. We're here with Donna Kay. Donna, I just want to backtrack now, and I wanna go to like maybe 18, 15 years back, right? Growing up, who's Donna that I'm meeting in like secondary and tertiary? Who's the person I'm meeting there?
Well, 18 years back, where was I?
Yeah,
All right, Donna at the time, I was probably in high school, right?
yeah.
Yeah, we were starting high school. Somewhere there.
Where was
Yeah,
this?
that was Evelyn High School.
Evelyn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Evelyn High School in Zim.
Yeah.
I
Where's it
was
located?
in
I think I've heard.
Blawayo.
Yeah, I think I've
Yeah.
heard about it.
It's located in Blawayo. I was just a young, bright student and very much into debates. Yeah, that was like the core of my being at the time.
Yeah.
And everybody who knew me, like that debate girl, that public speaker girl.
Yeah.
That was me, very confident, very intelligent, if I can say.
Yeah, yeah.
Not to blow my own horn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But if it's true, it's true.
it's true, it's true.
Yeah.
An avid reader and, very much into that kind of space at the time. I was a very like clubs kind of person, the school clubs. I was in almost like Toastmasters, whatever club I could get into. That was me.
Were you into any form of art?
Yeah, I
that
did
time?
art Form 1 and Form 2. Yeah, I was pretty good at it. And also my mom is like a preschool teacher. So I draw her charts and all like those Mickey Mouses and, Donald Ducks. Yeah, that's when I actually discovered that I could draw.
Yeah.
Although I didn't take it up further, but I could really draw those kind of things.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It makes sense now that with what you're doing today.
Yeah, I guess it then comes together to just say, since
The dots connect.
the
for
dots
sure.
connect.
For sure. Now you're into real estate. Tell us a bit about that. I think it's also nice to know about that.
Yeah. Real estate is like my 8 to 5. Yeah. In that sector, we are into selling houses, renting houses, property valuations, and property management. So that's what I do on a 8 to 5 basis. I talk houses and I talk construction language. Yeah. And then, during the weekends and any other time that I have, I talk beauty.
So your time is very, I can only imagine because you're married, you have the business, you have kids, you have the work. Talk to me about balance. Because actually today, just about 3-4 hours back, I was talking to a friend about balance, work-life balance. He was actually talking to me about that. And I was like, hey, man, I don't know, man. I don't know about balance, but what's your take on it?
I think with that, you really have to be intentional to make time for the things that you love, because you love makeup, you have to make time to do it. You love your family, you have to make time for them. You love your work, you have to make time for it. So I'm always very busy. I never have like much time to just like relax. But because I'm intentional about creating time to relax. So in the beginning, I remember I'd fill up my day with clients. But then now there's a certain number of clients that I can take. And then if I'm not taking clients on a Sunday, I'm not taking clients on a Sunday. And it is what it is. Or because I've just blocked that time to say this is family time or this is time that I'm going to spend doing X, Y, Z. So that's how I manage it. I have to be intentional about it. I have to think about it and block that time. So in as much as clients always want you left, right, and center, and whenever they want you, I'm not always available in that kind of way because there are times that I've set aside for family. So that's how I balance things.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing also you work really like odd hours.
Yeah.
Because weddings, you have to come
very odd
like
hours.
the day before, much early in the morning. How do you be able to like protect yourself from like burnout? Because it's already hard enough just having work, now the business and family and all that. How do you like protect yourself from running out of steam? Essentially?
Yeah. And that's like a big possibility because like with weddings, you can wake up as early as 2 a.m. or as early as 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got
Depending on how many.
bridesmaids, you've got the bride, you're trying to work everything out. But normally after a big gig like that, where there's like maybe 8 people or 10 people, I don't take anyone else after that because you find that maybe people would want to come in then to the studio. But when I've got a wedding day, or maybe I've got a photo shoot day, or I'm working with models or something hectic like that, I won't take in studio clients. So you see, I'm just intentional about my time. So I know that after the wedding, when I get back home from 10 o'clock, I sleep. I don't take any clients after that
Yeah.
because I'm protecting my own energy
True.
because I don't want to run out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oof,
exactly. So that's
a
how
big thing.
I do it. I just manage my time like that.
Beautiful. So coming back to makeup, um, I'm just looking at you right now. There's the hair, there's the
Yeah.
lashes, there's
Yeah.
the lipstick.
The
Like there's a
lipstick.
lot that has to go into it.
Yeah.
So how do you charge? Like how do you develop a charge to say I'm gonna charge you this much because I'm doing 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna charge you this much because I'm doing this and this and this and the add-ons. How do you develop? How did you develop that, especially from the beginning?
I feel like that's a very important question, and especially with other makeup artists who are probably starting. In the beginning, you're very hesitant to charge because you feel like people will not come through because you are expensive. But when you do realize that a bottle of foundation is probably will set you back 800 or 900 pula, and you probably need at least 20 different shades, that's a huge investment. When you realize that not all products you get locally, most of the products we ship from international markets. So by the time they get here, the shipping costs and everything added onto it.
Customs, tax.
Yes, customs, tax, and all of that. And there's so much that goes on because the lipstick is a separate item, foundation is separate, powder is separate. All of those things those are your inputs. So you have to put a price onto that, and then plus your skill and time. So you have to put a price on that. And then if you're going to be using internationally recognized brands, then you have to charge likewise because they are expensive. And you cannot just not charge because you're not going to be making any profit. And then in the long run, you're going to realize that it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So all of that factored in, that's how I then come up to the price that I have right now. And depending on if my inputs are going to go up as well, then my price will probably go up. And if it's a wedding, there's much more added pressure. I have to pack up the studio and go to the client. So there's an additional charge for that as well. There's also a transport charge.
For
And
sure.
in that
Petrol.
transport charge, you have to realize that it's not only petrol. You need to change your tires at some point. You
True.
need to service your car
True.
at some point. So
And
all
the
of
energy
that.
just to drive, eh? Just to drive.
Exactly.
You need
Everything
energy.
is there. And security as well. Once you've got, because makeup is expensive, you're literally moving with like 20,000 pula at any particular moment. If someone takes that away from you, that's a lot of money lost,
Sure.
So you have to factor all of that into your pricing. So maybe if you're starting out and you want to get a feel of the market, you can start off low, but eventually you really need to price at the point where you know that you're making a profit. Yeah. So I just factor all of that in and I'm just like, okay, I'm going to price this much. And that's how I do it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. We're going to pause here for a break and we'll be back with Donna Kay. Welcome back, everybody. We're here with Donna Kay. And if you've watched this video up to this point, make sure to drop a like, comment below on your biggest takeaway, and definitely subscribe to the channel. Now, Donna, in terms of, I want you to kind of tell me the full glow. I mean, the full, you call it full glam. I hope I got the wording right. Like the full glam of everything in terms of if I'm a young woman and I want to look the best. Say maybe I'm going for my wedding or something. I want to look like top notch. What are we doing from everything? Like everything.
All right. I think maybe I just take you probably like a rough step by step as to what I do. First, it's skin prep. It's very important to prep the skin, make sure the skin is cleansed and moisturized. You find that a lot of people are very skeptical when it comes to moisture in the skin and makeup, but working with a dry face is also not going to give you the best results. So you want to do your skin prep and you want to moisturize the skin, get it all ready to get makeup in. And also in between whatever processes that you're doing, you want to also have some time for the skin to get the products that you're putting,
Yeah.
like, yeah, so
For them
that
to
they
sink.
adhere to the skin, they settle
Yeah.
into the skin very well. And then after that, I am an eyebrows first kind of makeup artist. Yeah, people do it different ways. Some start with the face, some start with the eyebrows. I start with the eyebrows. So I'll do my eyebrows. From there, I'll do my eyeshadows. And then from
Eyeshadow's this
there,
one.
yeah,
Okay.
that's the
Okay.
eyeshadows, exactly.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because also that's a very important step for me. I take a lot of time doing my eyeshadow because I feel like the eyes are just one of those features on a person's face that's just like beautiful to look at, so I'm all about the eyes, bring out the eyes, and then even if you've got deep set eyes, I always try to like bring them out as best as I can. So from then on, I'll proceed to doing my base, and my base starts off with a primer, either mattifying or hydrating, depending on the person's skin tone. Then I'll do my foundation.
You said
Mattifying.
mattifying.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
a matte finish is like
Oh,
more
mattifying,
like
like
a,
making it
yeah,
matte. Okay,
making it
okay.
matte, making it
Okay.
dry, not
You
oily.
took me far.
Yeah.
All right, all right, all
Yeah,
right.
so if
Carry
you've got
on.
an oily face, I'd use a mattifying primer. But if you've got a dry face, I'd use a hydrating primer because I'm trying to bring back moisture into the skin, or I'm trying to take away the oil from your skin, depends on what I'm doing. And then I'll use a foundation. Also, that the foundation that I'll use is dependent on the type of skin that you have or on the type of look that we're going for. And then I'll do my concealing, your under eye circles. If you've got any spots or anything like that, it's either I do it before the foundation or after. It's more like a feeling of how do I go about this? And then we're going to set the face. So set the face in a two-step process, first with powder. And then we'll put our blushes, we'll put our eyeliner, we'll put our lipstick. And then to set it all off, we'll put our setting spray, which is normally a liquid. That's normally the last step. When that is happening now, you can like breathe a sigh of relief that you're done. Yeah. So that's basically the steps that I go through. Even if it's soft glam, I'll probably do all those steps, but maybe not putting as much product or putting very earthy tones or warm tones just to, sort of just accentuate your features, but not do too much. Yeah.
You also include like the eyeliner and stuff.
Yeah, the eyeliner, the contouring, just trying to bring out those cheekbones somewhere. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You contour the nose as well if the client wants that. Most of the time that's like the first thing that they say, I want my nose to be small. They don't say it's not, it's
Yeah.
just gonna look slightly smaller, but it's not gonna change.
How do you make it look smaller?
So you make it look smaller by basically darkening the shadows on the nose. So here down the bridge of your nose, you make it very dark. And then over here, you make it light. So you're using products to do that. You're using a darker based like contour cream or foundation and then a light one on top. Then you blend that all in and then you put highlighter onto the nose. And then instantly, it gives you the appearance of a smaller nose, but it doesn't really mean you physically changed it or anything like that. Yeah, it just appears to be smaller.
Okay. Typically, how long does this whole process take?
Typically, it takes 1 hour, 15 minutes, but if it's a bride, I like to take my time, so even 2 hours. Yeah.
So, talk to me about now the business of makeup now, because you said you now made it into a business in
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah.
What are the steps into now setting it up as a business properly, no longer just as something you're doing
Yeah.
on the side?
I think the first step is setting it up as a business is professionalism. Now I had to come up with the system of booking my clients in. I had to come up with the system of invoicing my clients, receipting my clients, taking myself seriously, And then also I had to create the space for my clients to come into. So they need to come into a place or an environment that's very welcoming, where they feel comfortable. And so I had to set up a studio for that. And then from then on, I had to figure out how to price my product. And then another important thing is how to market yourself. Because you have to remember that you're a brand in yourself. I sometimes am shocked that when I go to the mall, sometimes someone will be like, Donna. And I've never really met them before, but they recognize me from the work that I do or whatever. So you have to always remember that you're a brand, and everything has to be on brand and on point. So you do your marketing. These days, you can never run away from social media marketing.
True.
Your presence on Instagram, your presence on Facebook, that's where your clients come from, and referral clients. So every work that you do, you have to do it to the best of your capabilities, because you're going to get probably 5 more clients from that. So every client represents 6 clients. So having that at the back of your mind really
powerful.
helps you to do the best that you can do. And again, you have to give them value for money, because they are paying for the service. So you have to make sure that even though sometimes mistakes can be made, we're all human, but you minimize those, because you're trying to make sure that people can rely on your brand, and they know that every time they come to Donna Kay, it's an experience for them. Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, now as running this as a business, I'm thinking, because you've been in the space for a long time, you've probably worked on a client 1 or 2 where like, I didn't like that, or were not satisfied. How were you able to deal with that and bounce back off of that?
I think you have to take that as a learning point. For example, there's this one particular wedding that I did. I had just got in new foundations, new stock of foundations. Now, because I had not tried them on before, so when I went into that wedding, I used that foundation on those clients, and it was an extremely hot day. And immediately when I was done, it just started sliding off. And, there was nothing that I could do at that point. I was so devastated, because I was like, what are they going to think of me and my brand and everything? But I just had to save the situation. I had to redo almost everyone's face again, because immediately when I was done, it just started coming right off. And,
That's something I've always thought about in terms of makeup. Like, when it gets that hot now,
when it gets
what
that
happens
hot
now?
So when it gets really hot, as in the case with Botswana, you really need to make sure you are using products that are mattifying and that have long wear. Like, you need to make sure it's not that kind of product that's just going to move about, and you prep your client's face in a way that, whatever comes, this is not supposed to go anywhere. So you find that even when the client is done, maybe they look really, really matte, but as the day goes in and their oil starts to seep through, then it looks better and better and better with time. But if from the onset it's like looking really oily, it's not
right.
It's not good. So that once happened to me, and at some point it's going to happen. But as long as you take it as a learning curve, you learn where did I go wrong, and okay, maybe I shouldn't have paired that product, because there's also the science behind the products. Some products are like silicone based, some are water based, and you can't mix like a water based with silicone based or oil based with silicone based. They tend to like they're too opposite, and they don't like adhere to each other so well.
Right.
So you need to understand now the science behind the product. You need to read the label and say, okay, if I see these words, I know that it's silicone based, or if I see the word aqua, I know that it's water-based, and so on and so on. And this product works well with this product, which is why it's also important to also love makeup in a way, so that you can always experiment on yourself, because you're like the free
Yeah, your own guinea
face
pig,
that you
yeah.
can use, and you can disappoint because it's you. So most of the time I try nowadays to, if I get a new product, I try it on myself beforehand before I use it on my clients. So I always get one for
Okay.
myself.
Yeah.
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 But those things happen.
Yeah, definitely they happen. Are you okay with like a client that's coming to you unhappy and redoing them for free? Or I mean, are you okay with getting a client and saying, if a client says, I'm not happy with 1, 2, 3, and saying, do they have to repay you or or you just do it for them? If
I
they're
feel like
coming,
thankfully that has not happened to me, thankfully.
wow.
But also again with makeup we're working looking at a mirror.
Oh
There's a
yeah,
big
yeah, yeah.
mirror in front of you. Immediately
Makes
if you don't
sense.
like something, you should be in a position to say that you don't like it. You cannot wait for me to go all the way to the end because you are looking at yourself. So I feel like that would really be a big ask, of any makeup artist to say, I've been looking at myself the whole time and I've seen you going wrong, or I don't like this color. Immediately you don't like it, you voice it out and then we change it because there's nothing that you can't change. But if you're all the way down to setting spray and you're done, and then yeah, if it's a small thing like changing the lip color, we can do it. But if it's redoing the whole entire face, that's a really big ask, yeah, because you were looking at yourself and I'm looking at you, and obviously because I'm supposed to be skilled enough to be able to tell if I'm going wrong, I think I've done a perfect job. And also with makeup artists, because our work is out there, you already have an idea of the makeup that I do. That's why you've come to me. So most of the people who come to me like my style of doing makeup. There's something for everyone out there. And if you do your research, you'll see what you like. So already when a client comes in, it's because they've seen my work either on someone or on social media and they already like it. Yeah, so they appreciate the style.
I want us to jump into rapid fire now.
Okay.
We're going to be asking you a bunch of questions that don't necessarily relate to what we've been talking about. I think the audience would appreciate it and the viewers too. I actually have them written out here.
Okay.
Question number 1. It says, the way to my heart is, and then you have to fill in the blank.
All right. Probably food.
Yeah, no, that's mine too. It's
Yeah, I'm
very, very
such a
important.
foodie.
Very, very important.
I
Yeah,
love
no.
good food.
Yeah. I actually go on to say food is personal for me.
Yeah.
Like you can, I
can
can
do
come to your
anything
crib and
else.
you don't give me anything, but if you don't give me food, man,
We're fighting on a different level.
I'm not coming again. I'm not.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 2 would be, who's your inspiration and why?
I feel like I'll definitely say my mom. She's a fighter, that one. She raised like 6 kids. My dad in the picture, but she was doing the most. To be honest, she inspires me to be where she is today, and having raised us as well as my extended family and all of us, she taught me how to fight and to always say, regardless of the situation, you can always go through it. You make it to the end. So I don't give up easily, whatever situation, because of her. Yeah.
Shout out to her. All right. The other one is, what's your preference between cats and dogs? Or none?
I think dogs now, but
Okay.
only recently. My daughter got a puppy, so now I'm warming up to the idea
Yeah.
of having a dog around.
Yeah.
But if you had asked me this a year ago, I'd have said none,
Yeah.
happily.
For sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
so,
I mean,
but I
also people
guess-
have many different kind of pets these days. People have snakes and birds and whatever.
Exactly, but
So it's no longer just cats and dogs nowadays.
Exactly, but I'm not like an animal person
Yeah.
at all. Like creepy, crawly animals,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
You can miss me on that
All
one.
right, all right, all right, all right.
Yeah.
If you could wake up tomorrow anywhere in the world, where would it be? Anyway.
Definitely Singapore.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
I dream of going there.
Yes.
Actually, my husband and I always watch like videos of the place. We picture ourselves there. Yeah, so definitely, if it was like a free pass, I'd
Yeah.
definitely go
You
there
definitely make it
anytime.
Singapore. So it's cause you're interested more because of what you've been watching and following about
Exactly,
Singapore.
exactly.
Would you like to
And
live there though? Or would you just like to
I
visit?
don't think I'd love to live there, to be honest. I think I'd love to visit and just appreciate the infrastructure there, appreciate the culture there, and just, yeah, probably come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Africa still has that thing. Eh?
Yeah, it has that
Yeah,
thing.
Africa has that thing. All right, the last question is, what is your favorite TV show? It can be the one now or just growing up.
That's a difficult one.
Yeah.
I'm not really much of a TV person, but I guess if I'm to be watching, maybe let me not say a specific show, but I like reality TVs. Yeah,
What's
just
what's your
following.
favorite?
I don't have a
Only.
favorite. I just watch
Just watch
everything.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I like those kind of shows where it's
Yeah.
like people's lives, people fighting, and
Yeah. And it's always drama.
yeah,
Always, like
yeah,
all the
always drama.
time.
Yeah, I
All the
appreciate
time.
people's drama. I
Yeah.
just don't want any drama in my life,
All
but
all the time, yeah.
I love their drama,
Yeah.
especially when they're fighting. I'm just like, yeah.
Because I'm always coming through to every time I get glimpses when my sisters are watching. And it's always, I didn't appreciate the way she talked to me.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
so, it was, it's always drama. I'm just like,
And I'm just
this
like,
is
yeah,
really
but
what
yeah,
it's
she
about.
wasn't okay. Why
Yeah.
did she do that? It's
Yeah.
always drama. And I like that.
All right. All
It's
right.
nice to just get out of your own like existence and just be somewhere else in
Yeah.
someone's life. Yeah.
All right. So I wanted to ask you in terms of this, the scaling of your business, how do you envision it to happen? Or would you like it to be something where you are the one with the artistry and you're just serving this group, or you'd like to actually have many other places where it's the brand living up for itself?
I feel like with Donna Kay, I foresee probably creating my own cosmetics line and my own makeup brushes line.
Nice.
That is where my mind is headed towards to say eventually this is what I want to do. I want to have my own foundation because I work with a lot of different cosmetics at this point. I sort of like know what I like, and I feel like a lot of the products are not created for the African climate,
Right,
and
yeah.
that's what I want to venture into. Remember the incident of me having foundation sliding off? I want to
Yeah.
make sure
Yeah, it's like
nobody
60
ever
degrees here.
yeah, goes through
Yeah.
that experience. I want to create my own line, have my own products, and also just grow the business also to cover other areas of the beauty industry, to do nails as well, to do lash extensions, to do massages and all of that, and just make it as big as I possibly can.
Beautiful. So in the entire, um, I'll call it the makeup space, right? What is the biggest challenge that you're facing in terms of the entire makeup space, especially in Botswana? What are some of those challenges that you're facing that may not be just yours, but other people in the space are facing?
I think one of the biggest challenges is access to products. We do not have a lot of products here in Botswana, and the shops that do have products do not are not like well stocked. So you might find something really good today, and then tomorrow when you go look for it, it's not there. And they'll probably tell you that we don't know whether we're gonna order that thing again. So access to products is a very big challenge. You find that even internationally, some companies don't ship to Botswana. So some companies ship to South Africa only. So you might have to first send your products there and then get them from South Africa. So it's quite expensive. Yeah, and then we also have the fact that people don't take your craft as seriously as it should be. Most people think that it's just applying powder. So you find a lot of people really take your work for granted. You go somewhere and someone says to me, can you do it for me for free? And then it's like already that just shows you
Yeah,
that you
that they don't
don't
understand.
appreciate what I'm doing for
Yeah.
you. You don't appreciate my skill and you don't appreciate my time. But you actually get that a lot. So you need
So
to,
that means there are people that are saying that are doing it for free,
yeah,
that are
yeah,
making the whole, that are,
yeah. Because
pushing the whole notion that everyone can do it for
someone
free.
is like, you're already here. You came to do the bride. So why not just put powder on me? I mean, it's nothing.
Wow.
We get that a lot,
Yeah.
more times than you can just generally imagine. So there's like a real challenge in our business. And also you also get the fact that somebody at station is charging 50 pula. So why are you so expensive or something like that? But again, you're the
But target
client.
market. Yeah,
Exactly.
target
Target market
market,
as
yeah.
well as we're using very different products if you comes down to it. And with makeup, there's a very big difference between the kind of products that you use and the price. So that should tell you, but most people don't appreciate that, which becomes a challenge because now it's like you're trying to justify yourself, on of which you shouldn't have to be. People should just be appreciative of your work and your talent and everything that goes into it. So we're still a long way in just appreciating the artistry in makeup. For most people, it's like it's just a product. Yeah.
Yeah, ne? All right. This is my last question, sadly. How do you want to be remembered? Donna Kay, how would you want to be remembered?
I really want to remember as someone who lived their life to the fullest and who achieved everything she thought she could.
Yes.
I really want people to say that one was a go-getter. She never stopped for anything. Nothing you could put in front of her could stop her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No weapon formed.
Yeah, no weapon.
Hallelujah.
Exactly.
Hallelujah. Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Donna Kay. You've just heard her story. Definitely do yourselves the favor of diving into her world. You will love it. She's an artist in every word, in every sense of the word. And if you've liked this video, definitely like the video if you like the video, and comment below on your biggest takeaway, and definitely subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we'll meet same time, same place next week. Be great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.